Welcome to the series on psychological safety. We live in a world obsessed with visible safety: helmets, seatbelts, alarms, passwords. And don't get me wrong, those matter. But somewhere along the way, we lost sight of the invisible safety that actually shapes our lives: psychological safety. The quiet shield that lets us take risks, speak freely, fail forward, and grow stronger because of it. Without it, we stay frozen. With it, transformation happens. Today we dive into the psychology of safety and why it's the hidden force behind trust, growth, and real freedom. Part 1. Military Training. In the military, safety is not just about dodging bullets. It's about trust. Trust that the person next to you has your back. Without that, every decision is survival mode. No trust, no growth. You're trapped in fight or flight, your brain scanning for threats instead of learning, adapting, or leading. But when trust is presented, soldiers can push their limits, sharpen skills, and rise beyond fear. Psychological safety is what allows courage to exist, not in the absence of danger, but in the presence of trust. Part 2. Personal life. Think about relationships. Real intimacy doesn't come from perfect dinners or shared playlists. It comes from psychological safety. The freedom to say something absurd, like "I had a dream about a duck army," and know you won't be laughed out of the room. That space where you can reveal your unfiltered self and not be punished for it. That's where love deepens, where friendships become unbreakable, and where growth actually sparks. Without it, people hide. With it, they bloom. Part 3. Professional life. Now take it into the workplace. If a team doesn't feel safe, ideas die in silence. No one risks the stupid question. No one pitches the wild idea that could change everything. But when psychological safety is strong, it becomes fuel for innovation. People speak up. They challenge norms. They collaborate with energy instead of fear. That's the real difference between teams that merely survive and teams that soar. Safety is the invisible ingredient behind every breakthrough. Part 4. The Job Network Example. Here's a subtle but powerful one. Imagine someone connects you to a job. On paper, it's a gift. But if you don't feel safe with that person, the connection becomes fragile. You may sabotage the opportunity or burn out fast because you anchored your sense of safety to someone you couldn't fully trust. And it spreads. If you don't feel safe with them, you won't feel safe with their circle either. Safety doesn't just stay, it cascades. It either uplifts or it poisons. Part 5. The Manipulation Game. Here's the dark side. Safety can be weaponized. Cult leaders, toxic bosses, even that charming friend who always needs a loan. They know how to create the illusion of safety. They give you belonging, they make you feel seen, and then they pull you deeper until trust becomes control. False safety is the most dangerous kind because it feels real until the mask slips. This is why studying your own psychological safety patterns matters. If you can't tell the real from the fake, you'll always be vulnerable to someone else's game. Part 6. The Rare Gems of Safety. When you find real psychological safety, it feels almost sacred. It's rare, unique, and ridiculously valuable. It's what turns average friendships into soul bonds, average workplaces into rocket ships, and average people into innovators. The presence of safety changes everything, because when you feel it, you stop bracing for the world and you start leaning into it. You almost forget the rest of the noise exists. That's how rare it is. That's how precious it becomes. Part 7. Anchoring Safety Through Senses. Here's the hack. Stop outsourcing safety. Anchor it to your own senses. Pick a scent that grounds you. Keep a small object that brings you back to calm. Play a song that resets your nervous system. These sensory anchors train your brain to recognize your version of safety. And when you practice this, You are no longer dependent on someone else creating it for you or faking it. You become the lock and the key. You own the trigger. That's real freedom. Part 8. Safety in danger. Safety isn't just for calm moments. In danger, it's even more critical. Psychological safety keeps your mind clear when chaos hits. Instead of panic, you strategize. Instead of freezing, you act. Fear becomes data instead of a prison. Think about first responders, pilots, or athletes under pressure. They don't collapse because their training built a safe internal state. Real safety doesn't make you soft. It makes you sharper, tougher, and stronger, exactly when it counts. Part 9. Becoming a student of your own safety. Here's the personal challenge. Study yourself. Learn what your safety feels like, how it shows up in your body, what happens when it fades. Notice the moment you lose it and ask why. That's where growth begins. Because the moment you can map out your own safety, you stop outsourcing it to others. You stop being shaken by every storm. You become grounded, centered, and unshakable. Safety stops being something given to you and starts being something you own. Part 10. For those who've never felt safe. And here's the hardest truth. Some people have never felt real psychological safety. Not once. That's why being around them feels tense. They've never known the ease of trust. Their whole body is wired for defense. Instead of writing them off, sometimes the real growth is offering them even a glimpse of safety, because when someone experiences it for the first time, everything shifts. Their relationships, their outlook, even their identity. Safety shared is safety multiplied. Part 11. Childhood safety and attachment. Safety starts young. When kids feel safe, they explore. They take risks, they learn, they grow. When safety is missing, kids adapt. They become hypervigilant, anxious, or people pleasers. The pattern often follows into adulthood. Attachment theory shows us this. The way we first felt safe or unsafe shapes how we love, trust, and risk later in life. Safety isn't just nice to have, it's the foundation of identity. Part 12. Safety versus comfort. Here's a key difference. Comfort zones keep us stuck. Safety zones set us free. Comfort says, stay the same. Safety says, stretch, try, risk, fail, and you know you won't be destroyed. In psychology, growth happens when you're safe and challenged. Too much comfort, no growth. No safety, no growth. But safety with challenge, that's transformation. So the next time you hear the phrase, safety first, remember, it's not just about helmets, passwords, or seatbelts. The real safety is invisible, the trust that shapes growth, love, innovation, and resilience. Nurture it, guard it, learn it, share it, because psychological safety isn't just protection, it's the launch pad for who you're becoming. As Abraham Maslow once said, the ability to be in the present moment is a major component of mental wellness, and safety, the real kind, is what makes that presence possible. Thank you for listening to this series on psychological safety. What does psychological safety mean to you, and where in your life do you need it most?